That was definitely one of the most interesting games of the year. And as my friend Ryan Blackburn would say, uh, yeah, that was a disaster class. Disaster class by David Adelman. Yeah, that was interesting. I think some of this is there were a lot of decisions I think that should have been made differently. I don't know exactly what David Adelman is doing with these new rotations that they have this year, or in the last, I don't know, couple weeks. But ever since Jokic came back, they're bringing him back with like taking him out with 5.5 minutes left, 6 minutes left, and then bringing him back with like 3.5, 2 minutes left. And it's kind of like, bro, what are we doing? Like, I don't understand the process with any of that. It's just not making too much sense where this team is currently just like don't have whatever that thing is. But also too, I just, I'm watching this game, man, and I'm like, David Adelman is just continuing. Like, again, it's just a matter of like knowing your personnel right now. They're getting nothing balls out of a few players right now. And Jalen Pickett is just in the rotation, wasn't playing well. Julian Strother had a terrific game today, doesn't close the game, doesn't even give an opportunity to do so. Doesn't make sense. The defense was, mostly bad tonight, especially on the perimeter. They couldn't stay in front. They couldn't hit their open three. Nuggets shot 32.5% on three. Just missing open stuff. Christian Brown had a really good game. He had 20 points, 5 rebounds. They won his minutes. He made 4 threes out of 8 shots today. I thought he tried to play as much defense as possible. He was really their only source of perimeter defense that they had today. But, Bruce Brown was 0-6 in 25 minutes. He was a -10. Jonas Valanciunas, he had 12 points and 4 rebounds. I didn't personally love his game today. They had a couple good runs with him in the game, but, again, it's just little stuff. Like, you get to the fourth quarter, and it's like the momentum is completely flipped, and then Jokic comes back in with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left with a 3-point lead, I think, and they're getting open shots, but they're just not hitting them. And then Jokic also in this game at 22 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. I actually liked his game for the most of the game. Like, they were winning the minutes. They went on a great run again in the third quarter, or the top of the fourth quarter, rather, where the Nuggets went on a great run. They were up 11, and it's the same thing that happened inside the second quarter. The Nuggets went on a run. They get up 11, second quarter, fourth quarter. Cleveland calls a timeout at the second quarter, going a 10-0 run. Cleveland calls a timeout in the fourth quarter, and the Denver Nuggets, they allowed them to get within like 6 or something like that. But what happened was, all day this happened where they would go on these runs, or they had a 103-92 lead, and Jared Allen went to the free throw line. Jokic got a grenade 3-point shot at the end of the shot clock. He missed it. Just really bad offense. Tim Hardaway Jr. gets a steal. Julian Strother gets his corner 3-point shot that they didn't need to take. That was rushed in the shot clock. Missed it. And then on the other end, James Harden gets a 3-pointer. Jokic gets back to the free throw line. He misses one. And then it ends up being like a lot of back and forth missed shots. Christian Brown did like a step back jumper that he missed. It's 105-96, and then it's 106-99. Then it's all right. I guess this is what we're doing. Just bad shots, bad process. And then it gets to be 106-102. Jokic goes out with 6:12 left in the game. Then Jokic doesn't get back into the game until 3:24 left. But again, I'm wondering with Adelman, like that whole period, the Nuggets went on a 4-minute stretch without making a field goal. but it's just they're not in rhythm. And I feel like the team, they're trying to rediscover like their identity a bunch. Like there's just I mean, they really shouldn't have lost this game. They were the better team the entire game. They led at the end of every quarter. And then down the stretch of the game, there's not enough plays being made. Not enough plays being made. I don't know. There are not enough plays being made. Julian Strawther's not finishing up the game enough. Yeah, I mean, there's several different things. Like Jamal wasn't great today. Great playmaking game for Jamal, but the scoring was not great today. I mean, just I don't know. Like the two stars today, they neither one of them were super aggressive as scores, but like the offense was humming. So I'm not even really like super concerned about that. Now the possession, there were moments in the game where you absolutely would have looked for and wanted more. But Jamal Murray today had 17 points, but he was 6 of 16 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. And again, open 3-pointers. You got to make them. Nikola Jokic today had 22 points on just 11 shots. He went to the free throw line 12 times. So he was getting fouled a lot. He went to the free throw line 12 times, made 10 of his free throws, 83%. But then Jokic had 7 turnovers, and he had 6 in the first 3 quarters. And a lot of these were just like lead passes where there was miscommunication, or lead passes where he let it just a little bit too much going towards the basket. And then that's how you accumulate those turnovers. And the last one he had was he turned around and like Harden was moving toward him. And then so he moved into Harden, and then the ball like flew into the air because Harden hit both of his elbows, and, just momentum. And then he lost the ball. But he had 6 points, I think, in the clutch, had multiple great possessions, but then he had the play on Harden where it's Harden on him, but then there's Jared Allen in the middle of the paint. And so instead of trying to force it over, he throws the ball out to Tim Hardaway Jr. with 30. I don't even know like how much time was on the clock, but he throws it out to Tim Hardaway Jr. for a wide open 3-pointer, like butt naked 3-pointer, where a shooter of his caliber, this is the kind of shot that, you give him and it burns you to lose the game. Let me see exactly how much time was on the clock with that. Tim Hardaway Jr. So you get a step back from Harden, 32 seconds left, 117. Tim Hardaway got that shot with 9 seconds left on the clock. They didn't get the ball, go down the floor, no timeout, and then Mitchell just runs into Jamal Murray. And Jamal's just not moving his feet well enough. And then his free throws, and that's the game. I mean, it's just real basic stuff, man. Like, some of this stuff I'm upset about. Let me go ahead and show you this play. They actually have it available already at NBA.com. Shoot, that's early. They usually don't have the clips up already. Let me play this for you so you can kind of see what exactly happened. All right, got this. So this was the last offensive possession that Denver really had in this game. So you see the clock, 18 seconds left, 117. Jamal throws it out to Jokic. Okay, so now look at the floor. Jared Allen is on Tim Hardaway, but he's cheating off of Tim, and he just fills the paint up. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers announcers were saying this was Harden defense, and I'm like, well, actually, no. If this didn't exist, then he just would have taken this to the rim, and it would have just been a floater or a layup. But Jared Allen is literally like, he's absolutely abandoned Tim Hardaway Jr. And Christian Brown is setting a down screen on his man. So Jalen Tyson can't get to the ball. So if you look at the way this possession is mapped out, this is the perfect look you want. If you're Denver, you pay for this look 10 out of 10 times. Okay? We're going to double team me. If we're going to double team me, I'm not going to force this shot up. Tim Hardaway Jr. is wide open. Look how much room that is. Look how much room Tim Hardaway Jr. has. This is the same thing with Peyton Watson versus the Dallas Mavericks. You got to make that pass. Tim Hardaway Jr. is shooting 40% on threes this year. He's shooting above 42%. 42%, I think, on open threes this year. This is a shot that you want. So this was a great pass, and this was a great opportunity for a really good shooter. They just simply missed the shot. But again, like I said, go back to the beginning of the play. They run the pick and roll. They just switch it. Harden stays with Yoke, and it not getting a traditional look. They do an empty side. The now empty side ends up with a straight double on Yoke, and you get a wide open elite 3-point shooter with the shot, and he just misses. So yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but I don't have any complaints on this play. This is a 10 of 10 basketball look that you're looking to get. And when Tim Hardaway put this up, I was like, man, that might be good. Maybe could Tim Hardaway Jr. have been a little closer to the line? Would that have helped? Possibly. But Tim Hardaway Jr. was trying to give Nikola Jokic a great angle. Like, you know, he moved up. This is good discipline. You follow the line, follow the line, follow the line. You keep your shoulder square to the three-point line. He wanted to give Jokic a clear look, and he did it. Jokic made a great pass, and you just missed a shot. So it is what it is, man. Like, you know, some of those plays are happening. But like I said, my biggest criticism with this game, you know, Jokic and Murray weren't super aggressive with scores. Like I said, Jokic, like, he got fouled a lot. So, like, he went to the free throw line, like, often. But really, it was just, I don't understand David Adelman and these new rotations he's putting out on the floor because genuinely they're not working. And the team is already trying to reconfigure itself as it is with all these injuries and Jokic coming back. And they're playing against playoff teams now. So I will be curious to see, you know, some of the comments coming out of here about David Adelman. I actually haven't seen much of any yet. I'll check real quick and see if we have any, but you know, it's really just that simple, man. Like, I really don't understand the process behind what it is they're doing and what they're trying to find offensively. Yeah, shout out to Ryan. Like I said, the rotations were just insane. I don't even use the rotation chart on the show ever, but I'm looking at it right now. It's like Murray played the entire third quarter, comes back with 6 minutes left in the third. Jokic plays most of the third. Why? If you knew you were going to have to worry about him in the fourth quarter, or take him out earlier, or just don't bring him back in the fourth. And again, they brought him back. Maybe that's what Adelman should have done. Maybe that's what it is too. Like, if you got on a 7-0 run, you're up 11, take Jokic out. You know, get that rest that you're looking for. So David Adelman, he got his minutes down today at the 33 minutes after playing him 44 minutes versus the New York Knicks. Now, obviously, that went to overtime. Cam Johnson, I thought, like, played 4 minutes. He played 4 minutes inside the third quarter because of foul trouble. And then he played 7 straight minutes, it looks like, in the fourth, missed 3, and then came back for the last 2. It's like, what are we doing? There's just no rhythm. Julian Strawther played 29 minutes today. Listen to this, y'all. Julian played 8 minutes in the first quarter, 4 minutes in the second quarter, 6 minutes again in the third quarter. Went out, went back in for the last 2 minutes, and played the first 5 minutes of the fourth, didn't go back in the game. And he was easily one of the Nuggets' best players today. Like, what am I missing? Yeah, it's crazy. Somebody in the chat asked how many second chance shots did the Cavs have tonight. I don't know. Let me look at the offensive rebound numbers. Second chance points. The Cavs had 19. The Nuggets had 20. The Nuggets had 24 fast break points. So again, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is not a game you lose. Now, the Nuggets didn't shoot well from 3, but neither did the Cavs. Now, the Nuggets are a better shooting team than the Cavaliers. The Nuggets had 13 turnovers today. 6 of them were Jokic. Like I said, some playing around with some of those passes. 6 in the first 3 quarters. That's a lot. Just basic stuff, thought y'all, that they just could have done differently to put this game away. Like, this is a very winnable game, very winnable situation. I just think you got to be able to do it. You got to be able to get it done. Obviously, Jamal didn't play great. Jokic, I thought, was good for most of the game, and then the turnovers that he had were bad. But then, like I said, the fourth quarter, he wasn't as aggressive as a scorer, like that you wanted. But again, I think he had 6 points in the last 3 minutes, so like he turned it up, but you trust Tim Hardaway Jr. to make that shot, and he did. But look, it was just a two-man game. It was just off. Like I said, the Nuggets just feel off. Okay, let me look at their. I think the Nuggets, are they 1-4 in their last 5? Yeah, the Nuggets are 1-4 in their last 5. They are, they're 2-4 since Jokic came back. Obviously, OKC, Detroit, New York, Cleveland, those are all playoff teams they lost to. But it's just little stuff, man. Like, they're just off. Like, they feel off. Like, they don't feel as if they're fully back and fully present. And the Nuggets, in all these games, y'all, they gave up 109 points to the Clippers. Cool, good defense. They gave up 121 points to OKC. They gave up 124 points to Detroit, 134 points in 2 overtimes, obviously Chicago. 120 to Chicago the next day, or New York. They got a 134 to New York, 2 overtimes. And they gave up 120 to Chicago, and they gave up 119 today. It's like, again, y'all, like, you're catching the thread, man. They're just not. That thing that they're missing is just, it feels like early season for them. They are missing, obviously, 3 of their best defenders, and Spencer Jones and Peyton Watson and Aaron Gordon. That's definitely a part of it. But boy, like, you expect better. You expect more synergy. We said, I think there's a lot of things that are at play here. I think Adam went with the lineup. Jokic still getting back. I think it's the team trying to rediscover some things. Some players not playing as well. It's a lot of stuff that's kind of happening. Obviously, Jamal needs a little bit of a break. But it is what it is, y'all. Really bad loss. They should have won that game. They were leading at the end of every single quarter. And they just, quite simply, just gave the game away down the stretch. I thought Adam was terrible. I thought that this has not been a great stretch of games from him as of late. Yeah. So Ryan Blackburn asked Adam about Jokic stagger rotation. It's not a fun thing for anybody. It really screws with your rhythm. It's not why we lost the game. Says the Nuggets will revisit getting Jokic back to a normal rotation post All-Star break. Coaches are interesting. It's not just that. Obviously, there's multiple things. Shooting and stuff was bad. Defense was bad. A lot of stuff, y'all. And then they can get a win versus Memphis. They're 34-20, man. So 20th, by the way, their 20th different starting lineup they had today. 20th different of the season. So again, I think the whole team is just like, there's no structure. Like, they're so and again, they're so discombobulated. And like, even the defensive possession, I'm like, one of the plays that was led out to a Jared Allen, like, running straight down the middle of the floor. Jokic was in the corner on another man. They did a switch because they were trying to run the pick and roll again. And again, because the Nuggets are so small, they can't run their traditional pick and roll defense, which is at the level or a very tight drop. And then you have another big or wing that can kind of fit within the gap to like help a little bit. And nobody was doing that. And so then Jokic is in the corner. Jamal gets caught on a double. Jarrett gets a free run. And then it just was a Jared Allen layup around Christian Brown. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what that plan was. I don't know what that call was either. I mean, I just have no idea. Like, and again, it's just little stuff, man. But it's just little stuff. They got to take care of, y'all. But y'all know what time it is. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Y'all my folk. See you on the other side, y'all. We out.